And welcome to the Sunday Ramble. I'm Stephen the Mini Scratcher, or as I'm more well known to any female I've met under the age of 35, Creepy Uncle Steve. I'm bringing you yet another Sunday Ramble. Yeah. Yay, yippee! Anyway, got a lot of stuff to talk about today, and not the least of which the fact that it's not actually Sunday, it's now Monday evening. I got busy with some stuff. Life got in the way yesterday, so I wasn't able to do a Sunday Ramble yesterday. So we're having it today. Get over it. All right? Anyway. All right. Last time we spoke, I talked about, another episode mentioning materials and whatnot. Okay, I need to update you on some things here. First of all, I am now back on Facebook. I know. I said I would never do it again. I've been off of Facebook probably about 2 to 3 years, I guess. And I swore I'd never go back, but yeah, what are you going to do, And I blame the terrain tutor. I blame Mel for this because he created that group, that Facebook group, Terrainiacs, and I just had to be a part of it, and in order to do that I had to join Facebook. So I'm back on Facebook. I'll put a link down at the bottom here in the description. If you want to, hit me up on Facebook, that's cool. That's cool. So. And it's under my real name, Stephen Cox, so it shouldn't be too difficult to find. I think I recognize some of you from the YouTube area there on the Facebooks. So anyway, I'm on Facebook now. But don't ask. I'm not going to do Twitter or any of the rest of that stuff. The rest of that social media. I'm not that kind of social. You know what I mean? It's not for me. You know what I mean? It's not for me. It's not my thing. But anyway, I am actually having a really good time with this Facebook thing. Let me fix some lighting here. This is really starting to bother me. There we go. Is that got this weird glare thing going on? There we go. That's a little bit better, right? Well, it's my face. It can't improve a whole lot. Come on. I'm only laughing because it keeps me from crying. Anyway, so yeah, I'm having a lot of fun on that Terrainiacs group. Just some super talented, super nice people on there. And I've shown off... yesterday I posted some pictures of the cabin from my my diorama build, and I've gotten a lot of really positive feedback on that, and I'm very pleased with that. Twice I've run across a comment that says, that looks real. When I looked at the thumbnail of that picture, I thought it was a photograph of the real thing. And to me, that is the absolute highest compliment that anybody could ever pay me, because that's exactly what I'm aiming for. I want people to look at it and go, yeah, that's it. I'm not trying to build a dollhouse here. I'm not trying to build dollhouse furniture. I am looking to move from a representation, which is what the dollhouse stuff is, to a realistic model of it. That's one thing. I looked at a lot of stuff. Like I've told you before, I do constant research on things, and I look for certain things. And I looked at a lot of dollhouse stuff, accessories, furniture, and what have you. Because in dollhouse, you've got basically two scales. You've got 1/12 scale, which is 1 real inch equals 12 scale inches. And the other, less common but more common than anything else, is the half scale, which is actually 1/24, which is 1 real inch equals 2 scale feet, or 24 inches. So I looked at some of the half scale stuff, and I don't know if any of you ever looked at some of that stuff before and thought this, but there's something about dollhouse furniture and accessories that just it doesn't. It to me, the only way I can explain is that it looks more like a representation than an actual model. That is to say, you're supposed to recognize that this represents such and such. You're not supposed to say, oh, this is really, you know, spot on here. And I want a more realistic thing. And I guess I had worked out an example in my head, and it may not translate well once it comes out of the mouth, but whatever, we'll do what we can do. If you look at a door, a 1-1 scale door, if you get real close to the edge of the door, you know, where you have that 90-degree angle, if you get real close to it, you can see that that is not a perfectly sharp edge most of the time. There's even just the tiniest amount of rounding over that corner. Okay? But if you step back 10, 15, 20 feet away from it, it looks sharp. It looks like a sharp, clear 90-degree angle. Period. No rounding to it, no softness to it. And that's where I think dollhouse furniture and accessories kind of falls down on the job. Is everything has that slightly, all the edges have that slightly rounded look to them, and in my opinion. So the less of that rounded look, and the sharper I can make the edges, I think the more realistic it looks. I could be completely off base about that, but that's just my personal observation about that. So, yeah, that's why I decided, that's one of the motivating factors to my scratch building of things is getting my level of realism and detail into things, so that I can look at it and I can appreciate it. And it seems that a lot of people who have seen the stuff that I've been working on so far get that, and that makes me very happy. I've been receiving a lot of positive feedback and support and everything on that Facebook group. And it's really a reflection of the entire terrain building community. I mean, there's people in there that do the model railroading stuff. There are people in there that do dioramas like me. There are people in there. It's mostly wargaming terrain. Nothing wrong with that at all. As a matter of fact, the more I see that stuff every day, the more I appreciate it. Oh, and on my last Sunday Ramble, I put it out there, you know, a possible title for my diorama. And Anthony Bragg, being the gentleman that he is, came up with a suggestion. Inside Steve's Mind. I sent him a message back saying, Anthony, look, dude, I'm trying to scare people, not permanently scar them, because this is a pretty intensely frightening place up there. Not to mention a little echoey at times. Anyway, you may notice a difference in quality or the video or whatever. It's actually widescreen now. I'm using the camera from my new phone, which is another reason I've been putting videos out. I've been trying to figure out a editing app and everything, and I've just not been having a lot of luck with that. So I'm just going to transfer this video from my phone over to my laptop and do the editing in the free, and you get what you pay for kind of YouTube editing stuff, and do it that way like I have been. So at least it'll look a little bit better anyway. Like I said, my face is in it. How good can it look? Alright, sorry, I'm just throwing out weird voices. I'm in kind of a weird mood. I've been sitting around today thinking about a lot of stuff, mostly about what I was going to present to you here on this ramble, and You know, it's funny how you get all that in your head, and when it comes time to push the record button, it just goes, you know, right on out. I was going to talk about something, but I forgot what it was. Oh, okay, yeah. As I said earlier, when I'm out gathering my materials, I tend to have an eye towards the future. I mean, I've always got ideas for future projects kind of overflowing on top of the stuff that I'm still working out on my main project. It's a little distracting at times, and it makes me wonder if I may not have some sort of mental issue. Who knows? Anyway, I look at something, and like I discussed, using your imagination and thinking outside the box, inside the box, around the box, up over the box, under the box itself. You look at stuff and you let your imagination run wild. You know, anything can be anything. This is the roll that the last bit of aluminum foil that I used was on, and this could be anything. This could be a giant steam pipe culvert, depending on what scale you're working in. It could be just about anything. You know, if you're working like 28 millimeter scale, this could be a smokestack for a factory. It could be anything. And I've got a lot of I like electronics. I like messing with things with electricity and such as that. So so I've got a lot of LEDs lying about. And some of them have been converted into lighting fixtures or specific lighting effects with an eye towards future projects. Now, I've already got my lighting worked out for this project. I'm actually only using LED bulbs in one place, and that's for an effect and not for actual lighting. For actual lighting, like, you know, ceiling light fixture, such as above, I'm actually using an old-fashioned flashlight bulb. I've got one for each room, you know, 3-volt bulb, because it has more of that natural yellowish warmth to it. You know, Homeboy is a cannibal. He's not big into housekeeping or home improvement stuff, so it's unlikely he's going to have these, you know, fancy LED bulbs in his house. And I want the lighting to look as realistic as I can too. And speaking of the lighting effect that I'm going to use, stand by just a second and I'll see if I can get this and the battery that goes with it and show you of which I speak. I've got stuff, just my work area is pathetic. It really is. It's awful. Awful. But at least I know where everything is. If I will let my wife organize it, or if even if I try to organize it, I would immediately lose track of where everything is. So, yeah, there's that. Okay, let me get this rigged up. I may have to put my eyes on so I can see what I'm doing here. I seem to have eye trouble from time to time for some reason. I don't know why. All right. What I'm about to show you is a scale model of a wood-burning stove. It's got real wood and real ashes in it, but how do you represent fire in there? Apparently not that way if you get the battery turned around backwards. There we go. I may have to turn out a light in here so you can maybe see this a little clearer. But this is my wood-burning stove with fire effects. And this was made pretty much just out of polymer clay. I've got 2 amber flickering bulbs in there and 1 steady burning red bulb in there. And of course, when you pull the battery lead away, you know, the light goes away. But in the meantime, you got this, which I think is a fairly good representation. I think I probably hit the mark about as best as I can with something like this. That's real pieces of wood in there, and at the bottom there's a scattering of cigarette ashes, and also some dry brushing and cigarette ashes on the back wall, the textured back wall there, and up the sides. So, and I got my little cook pot on top with the scorched bottom. Nothing like a scorched bottom. So anyway, that's another little project I was kind of proud of. And of course, the stovepipe is just a bendy straw. You paint it black. I'm going to put some rust highlights on it before it's fully installed into the model. And, you know, bada bing, bada boom, there you go. So that's my wood burning stove model with lighting. It's lit up. It's electric. Wow, I'm getting seriously weird now. Son, let me tell you something. Yeah. So, anyway, there's that. This is just an example of what I want to do. I want to kind of push the envelope on realism as much as I can. I'm going to take these glasses off now. These things get on my nerves. I know someday I will have to have actual... Those are reading glasses. I don't actually need prescription glasses yet. I'm sure I'll get there eventually, though. That's just how I roll, son. That's how I roll. Okay, I lost track of where I was. I was discussing realism, what I want to do for realism. Oh, an eye towards future projects. Okay, I've got 3 that are kind of on my mind, but I got 2 that are kind of neck and neck for the lead. Bringing up the rear is a diorama, and of course I'm not going to stick with the 1/24 scale. The only reason that I'm doing this project in that scale is simply because this whole project started from as an environment for a vehicle, a 1/24 scale vehicle. And of course I think I went through some of that, explaining some of that to you I went in the intro vid, but plus the fact that 1/24 scale is mathematically a lot easier to figure things out. I mean, 1 inch equals 2 feet, 24 inches, 1/24 scale. Boom, it's done. Now I have dealt with things like 1/35 scale before, which I actually had to go out and buy one of the little scale rulers for 1/35. Because the math was very hard. Even with a calculator, you gotta know how to work a calculator before a calculator can work for you. And I'm just not there, man. Not there. Okay, so so these future projects could be in just about any scale, and I'm giving serious consideration because of the amount of figures available to doing it in more of a tabletop warfare scale, like the most common one. I'm assuming the most common scale for that is 28 millimeter. Because of the availability of figures and accessories and whatever, I may go that route. I don't know. When it comes to figures, I kind of have to do that because I'm not good at the sculpting the human form, or even the inhuman form, really. But anyway, the idea that's in the last place is a scene of an abandoned, crumbling psychiatric clinic. And like I said, I've got a lot of LED lights and lighting effects, know how to use Arduinos and such like that, so I can make things flash and do whatever I need them to do. So I was thinking maybe the scene could be like a cutaway view of the main hall of this abandoned psychiatric hospital, and perhaps you see one of the big lockdown doors, and press a little button under the table, and a light lights up, and all you see is 2 red eyes staring at you through one of those door windows, and then you press another button, and a bluish white light lights up like lightning crashing, and you see the silhouette that those eyes are attached to peering through the door. I don't know. It's that one is in dead last place. Now what's fighting neck and neck for number 1 as my next project The first idea I thought of was doing a kind of a homage to the Aliens movie, you know, the H.R. Giger design Alien. The thing is I don't want to tackle actually making or even using a pre-made model of the alien. For my level of skill, that's just going to bring down too much heat on me, especially from diehard fans. I want to make that sort of thing, like, you know, the interior scene would be something like the Nostromo or a futuristic space vessel, okay, but industrially futuristic. You know what I mean? Not where everything's just clean and shiny, everything's sparkly. It's been used. It's a used thing. Lots of weathering and what have you. And like I said, I've got a lot of LED lighting that I can use for that as well. And one of the items I collected was a bunch of batteries. The individual batteries from a laptop battery pack, basically. The battery pack crapped out on us, so I took it apart just to see what was in there and see if maybe I could do some replacing of the individual cells. Yeah, not so much, but they have individual battery cells that are like something like an extra fat AA battery, really. And to my mind, and of course they don't have anything on them, they're silver, they're just bare metal. And they have a look of like a tank, like a some sort of oxygen tank or some sort of gas, or maybe some sort of, maybe it's trikes and, you know, what was that, the 2,4,5 trioxin, I guess, is from Return of the Living Dead. Anyway, you understand what I'm saying. They look like gas cylinders, basically. And I can make them, with the right paint job and the right little doodads added here and there, I can make them anything I want. It's stuff like that that makes me think ahead and look ahead. So I got the possible alien project, and not a direct copy of H.R. Giger's Alien, maybe something a little more subtle. It's either that, and the other one that's neck and neck with the first place is a kind of a Resident Evil T-Virus laboratory raid gone wrong. Now I can kind of deal with that, because that Resident Evil universe seems to be a little more malleable, a little more free-flowing. You know, a lot of alternative universe kind of things going on that or can go on there. The possibility exists for that. So I don't know. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you think, and we'll go from there. All right, one more thing before I go. I want to once again thank everybody who's been so supportive here on the Book of the Face and the Tubes of the U. Thank you for liking, subscribing, commenting. Please continue to do so. I'm not going to beg you. Yeah, please pay attention to me. No, I'm just kidding. I want to have fun. You know what I'm saying? And I get to have fun with you people and kind of express my goofy side as well as my creative side, which those two tend to mesh together a lot. It's a little strange, don't you think? Anyway, I don't know. I'll just have to see. This is going to be my first video with my new phone camera thing, so we'll just have to see how that's going to work out. And I've got tutorials coming up. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I haven't forgot about those. I just have to set aside some time to do them. Yeah, that's right. Yes, I do. I've got a tutorial on barbed wire, and eventually, somewhere down the line, the DIY static grass. And something else that I wanted to do that I haven't seen done, or at least not demonstrated anywhere on YouTube or anywhere else, weathering and distressing wood, like, you know, your normal popsicle sticks, that sort of thing. how to make them look not like popsicle sticks, but actual planks. Again, it's the eye towards realism as much as possible. So that's what you got to look forward to. Hopefully, before Christmas time rolls around. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate all you guys that watch and comment and what have you. It's really well and truly appreciated. Thanks. Until next time, take care and be well.